Welcome back, everyone. This is Akinar here with more Talos Principle 2, where last time we took on the Western Delta and the new hoverbot mechanic, which I really liked. I liked the element that they added, which was has been missing in the second game. It was more present in the first game, having those bots roaming around the puzzles, and it kind of brought a little bit of a feeling back, a little reminiscent of the first game. And the puzzles in general were just good. I liked them. And so we're heading here. I also had a checklist item, which was to head back here to the circular oasis. Except now I am not finding what I was looking for. I had an artifact that I had seen out here in the desert near the Lost Labs. Except it is not here. What the hell? I definitely came to explore here off camera, and I definitely saw something, but now it's not here. You know what? I think it might have been this satellite dish. I think this is what I saw here. This actually, when I found this in the Delta, I actually thought, this looks a lot like the one that I saw back in Circular Oasis. I think the game actually moves these on you. If you don't find them in one area, it actually can move it to another area where you can pick it up later. So it's kind of helping you find the ones that you missed. I think, because I can 100% guarantee you there was an artifact somewhere in the vicinity of this lost lab from the Circular Oasis, and I forgot to come back the other day when we were getting the Pandora Star, because the Pandora Star got me distracted, and now it's not here, except I think we picked it up in the Western Delta. So, okay, I guess that's how Talos Principle 2 works. You don't have to be a thorough to the ends of the earth explorer. You just have to explore enough, and if you miss something, you'll probably pick it up in a later level. So there you go. I think I probably like that. I think I probably like the fact that the game is helping me out in that regard, because these areas can be so massive, and it already feels a little exhausting sometimes to explore them to their entirety. So, okay, with that little distraction out of the way, let's go ahead and check out the Anthropic Hills. What does anthropic mean, actually? Hey Siri, what does anthropic mean? Okay, so it's like anthropogenic. It's related to or concerning the existence of human life, especially as a constraint on theories of the universe. Anthropic reasoning is only interested in a scientific sense if it can help us understand how the universe came to be the way it is. I thought it sounded like anthropogenic, but I don't think I've actually heard anthropic used in this way. So we've got the Anthropic Hills. This rocky highland terrain has been dramatically sculpted by the technology contained in the megastructure. Let's check it out. West 2, here we go.
The next area you're going to is, honestly, it's better if you see for yourself.
Ooh, Yakut building the anticipation here. What are we going to find? What are we going to find? We've only got 2 more areas, but then we've also got Golden Gate puzzles, which I'm very excited about getting to those. Oh, statues. Hello. Statue Central, my God. They are everywhere. Okay. Cool. Lots and lots and lots of statues. Hello. Look at this. We've seen, obviously, a handful of these throughout the game so far. We've seen one very early on in one of the puzzle areas. We saw one in the megastructure. I think we saw one in the last data stream. They're kind of similar to that one engraving that we keep seeing. That engraving that's kind of been in the living quarters and also in the megastructure. But I'm seeing here, there are puzzles and there are things to find along the cliffs here. We have a very vertical style area, which I am already loving the idea of that. There's something about introducing verticality into a level that is so good. Absolutely love when the game does that, and I love it when it does it with the puzzles. So hopefully we've got a bit of both. But this area I like the layout of it. It's very cloudy. Feels like it's going to rain pretty soon. There is an audio log here. We'll grab that in a second. Can we go down there? There's nothing on the compass, so maybe not. So many impressive looking areas in this game, and this is definitely continuing that trend. Okay, let's grab the audio log and we'll start exploring.
Hello there, Byron. What can I do for you?
I don't know if I got through to Athena. Things are going very wrong in this city, and she has to do something about it.
Does she?
Who else are they going to listen to?
Well, I don't know. How about you?
I'm an explorer, Cornelius, not a leader. I don't know how to convince anyone.
So? Do you think Athena and I are somehow different? We're just people, Byron. We're no wiser than you are, just a little older.
Not sure if I'm supposed to be going down here, but it kind of has a path. But that path seems to be running out very quickly, so I think this is going to be a death. See, this is where if I was in the first game, I would think for sure that I'm on the track of an Easter egg. But in this game, I don't know. I don't know for sure. But it kind of feels like we're going somewhere. These textures, though, kind of make me think that we can't explore down here. Is there something right below me? I don't think so. There is the best looking ledge to get to is this one, but this feels like death. No, it's not. Wow, I am a little bit surprised that I'm able to stand here and that I haven't died yet, but I think that is eminent. Yeah, okay. It was much more eminent than even I thought. I like that audio log, though. It is a good little reminder of the fact that, you know, the people who you think of as leaders are still just humans. And, you know, obviously some people are better leaders than others, but don't just count yourself out of the picture because you think, oh, I'm not a leader. You probably have more potential than you think. All right, let's check out puzzle 1 and see what we've got here. Universal activation. Do we have another new mechanic? I think I see a new mechanic. Oh boy. Now, of course, I keep saying new mechanic, but some of these have been spins on previous mechanics, just minor wrinkles on them. What do we have here, though? An activator. I'm noticing this blue outline, this blue outline, which is making me think back to a couple Lost Labs ago. We had the Lost Lab that was showing us the ability to kind of inhibit force fields, but this is calling it an activator. So, okay, so it's not turning off the force field. It's calling it an activator, so it maybe is supposed to work by... Is it its own? It's a blue... It's colored blue, similar to an emitter. Does that mean that it is supposed to... Oh, you can connect it to this. Oh, you have to connect it to blue. Okay, so let's try this again now. Let's keep the connections. Now that we have blue, I guess we don't have line of sight to blue over here. We can't test it on this force field, but we can test it on this. So if we put it next to this force field now, if we kind of encompass, now it inhibits the force field. Okay, so it's called an activator, which is kind of an unintuitive name. Inhibitor would seem more logical to me. Now, this one is colored red, which to me... Wow, okay, wait, we have... Oh, I see what it's showing on the UI there. It's showing you whether it's in line. We need to test this a little bit. We're doing a little bit of labbing here with our new mechanic. Man, this game is really fun. I've had my complaints about the game, but it is a good game. The puzzles are good. And learning the new mechanics are good. Is fun. You know what I mean? What I want to test is, can I just barely touch the force field? That seems to be good enough. It seems like as long as the force field is shown on the UI, like here, we're out of range. But if I go a little step closer, that's close enough to deactivate it. Good to know. Now, let's take this away. Drop this over here. if we take red, I'm assuming that we cannot connect it to the blue beam and have a similar result. We need to power red with red. Okay. Cool. Now, there might still be a way, though. We can't relay the blue signal. Because the problem that I'm having here is, how do I deactivate this? How do I deactivate this? I don't actually maybe... I can get just barely close enough so where it's touching the force field and I still have line of sight of this. Except no. How'd I screw that up? Oh, it's because I'm turning. That's the problem. I'm turning. So maybe I can't. If I try to get close to the force field, I come... or I leave line of sight with the blue emitter. So how do we do this? How do we do this? There is a red emitter on that side. Can I get this signal somehow through the force field? That's not how this works, right? I have to have the force field out of the way first. So what is the mechanic that I'm meant to learn here? I can't power this with red, can I? Was there something else in here that I missed? Can I put this closer? Can I put this here? No, it's still just far enough out of reach where you're not able to deactivate this force field using this just this one blue activator. Okay, so there's a core concept here that we're meant to learn that I have not picked up yet. Let's lower this again. I like that little pulsing sound effect. What? There's nothing else in here. We have a red activator now. But I can't... I can get the blue signal. I can get the blue signal. I can't connect to the other activator. What do I do here? What do I do? There's probably something very, very straightforward here that I'm overlooking. Oh, wait a second. So it is including this other activator. On the UI, it's showing the activator as part of, like, this blue activator's area of effect or area of influence. It was showing this activator when it was inside of this sphere. So I see. That's the key. The key idea here is this, in order for this to turn on, it needs... Okay, that's why this is called an activator, because right now, this activator is activating this red activator. So it doesn't just have to take a red source. It can take a red source, and then it becomes active, but it can also take in this activation field. So the activation field, it acts as an inhibitor for force fields. And maybe that's the way the game wants you to think about it, that you're not inhibiting the force field, you're activating it. Because how is this going to work with other equipment? I'm so excited now to see how they're going to combine this with other pieces of equipment. So all we need to do is just put this red in range of... We need to put it in range of the force field, and then we just need to put it... We need to put the blue here in range of both the emitter and the red activator. And then it extends out the activation field to where it brings down the force field. Okay, so we're through. Now what? We need to get something on this pressure plate to get to the progress wheel. Oh, but of course, what we do here is we pick this up, we take this activator, and we now activate it via the red source, so that once Now we've done the normal Talos thing, right? The Talos thing of creating an effect from the other side of the force field, or powering something from the other side of the force field, which allows you to now remove the piece of equipment that you had here and use it further into the puzzle. Like, that's just a very core Talos concept. And we got our first puzzle out of the way. All right. I love it when a new mechanic initially stumps you. It takes some time to
I just wanted to say that
wrap your head around it.
appreciate the work all of you have been doing. I know I'm not a natural leader like Byron, but it means a lot to me that you've stuck with me.
Did you not just listen to the last audio log, Alcatraz? Were you not listening to what Cornelius told Byron? That's kind of cool how the activation field pokes out of the puzzle here. But yeah, that's definitely one of the things that made the first game, or one of the things I think made the first game tougher, or feel this game has, as much as I've loved the puzzles, they have not felt as tough as the first game. The first game felt far more challenging, at least early on. And maybe that was because you had certain core concepts like the one we just saw in that puzzle, which are kind of universal, where you have to do something on the other side of the force field in order to progress or bring other pieces of equipment into the later stages of the puzzle.
Okay?
And I remember being stumped for quite some time when some of those early on puzzles in Talos 1, which now I look back on and like, oh, I know the core concept now. They're not nearly as easy. Okay, talk to me about statues here. Creepy or inspiring?
Both? What do you think?
I kind of wish I had the option to say neither. I don't really, they're definitely not creepy, but I'm also not inspired by them. There really should be an option every time for none of the above. I guess we'll see what he says to creepy.
It's the faces, isn't it? Human faces are just kind of uncanny. Maybe I should have called this place Uncanny Valley.
I see what they did there. They did a robot looking at humans joke. That's a good one. Alrighty, let's check out puzzle 2. Chain reaction. Okay. I'm already liking this activator mechanic. So we've got activators that are kind of in their own little area, and we extend that field of activation to them in order to kind of create a chain reaction. Haha. I get it. I'm smart. So, what was the thing I was thinking of? Oh, I think we've seen that the activation field looks like it just goes through walls. We'll see if that comes into effect in any of these puzzles. We'll see if that's important. For now, oh shit, it lowered the fence. Okay, the only thing I was thinking about was just extending the field to the next activator. I was totally taken aback by, I never would have thought that fences are included here in what we can activate or deactivate. Okay, so fences can be like force fields. Got it. It's probably not just any fence. Something tells me this fence is not one. Well, we've already got the field extended to it, right? This field is going to this fence, but it's still in place. So, okay. I'm guessing the fence that gets to the progress wheel, it looks like one that you need an activator for. So, what I think we do here... Oh, of course what we do is we get this activator and we connect it to blue. Because now... I'm guessing, let's test some things out here. We're gonna put this intentionally far enough away so it's not touching the fence, but I'm guessing if you take this, the fence goes back up. Okay, it's just like a force field. So the fence is not a one-time deactivation. So what we wanna do here is we want this activator, I think, this puzzle is gonna bring into what I was just talking about a minute ago with activation fields going through walls, because I think what we're doing here, we take this, and we, I think, maybe can just barely touch the fence. Let's see how, we'll test this out. If we just barely touch that little, like, tiny sliver of the fence, is that enough? Is that enough to get the job done? It does. It does get the job done. Okay, so you just need to barely, ever so slightly brush up against anything that you want to activate. We probably don't have to get that fancy. We don't need to be quite that particular about stuff. But what we're doing here is we are, I see, okay. We can deactivate and activate fences. Oh, we don't need to... No, we do need to do that, because we don't have line of sight to the blue source here. Okay, this is still not close enough for me to plop down this activator and have it bring down the fence. So... maybe I'm not actually doing... I'm getting overcomplicated here, because all I need to do is bring this activator outside. I bring it out here, right? And now... Oops, I tried to take it out of the puzzle. That's not what I meant to do. Now, I put this over here as... I put it as far as I can this way while still having line of sight to the blue beam. Because now I take the activator over here and I place it right here. Now we got it. Now we're thinking along the right track. Okay, now I might do... Now we might go back and put an activator inside here. And I think we have to. Because if I try to extend the force fields or the activation fields directly toward the finisher, or the finisher, the progress wheel, it's not going to be far enough. Doesn't even come close. So we got to go back and start our chain reaction, haha, inside of... I should have kept connection there. We have to do it inside here. Okay, this is... I like this mechanic. I am really hoping that they do some super cool stuff, because this feels like the mechanic that you could really do. I kind of wish they'd had this earlier in the game. This feels like a mechanic that you could do so many creative things with. What I want to do is what I've done before and just put this over here in the corner so it's as close to that. Oh, but we need... okay, we need to... No, we can't do it like this. I can't put it that far. It has to keep the fence open on its own. So we have to put it just so it's barely touching... Okay, it has to be in line of sight of blue, and it has to be barely touching the fence, which we saw it could do it like this. So that should work. And it should still be out. You should be able to get... Yeah, the force field is still... I'm calling it a force field. The activation field is still out here. I like that the UI has a nice little prompt on it to tell us when we are getting everything in the right place. Although, it's giving us enough wiggle room where I don't have to be as particular as I'm trying to be. It's just the way my brain works. I like to get things... I don't know if it's OCD. Whatever it is, I have this desire to line things up perfectly. All right, let's check out the new interface content that we picked up. Alcatraz, burdened. To me, these statues don't look happy. These statues remind me of Atlas. Oh, actually, that's a good call. Who bore the celestial spheres on his back. They seem burdened, struggling with the weight of the world. Given what we heard the founder say about the goal, could it be that they're meant to send a message that taking on the theory of everything would also be a burden we may not be able to bear? Or alternatively, we're in a video game where we put statues in the game to make things look cool. I have just realized that this statue was right here. My tunnel vision brain did not even notice we were being watched this entire time. That's really what you're here for. You're here to judge us on how well we solved the puzzle, isn't it? Did I, laughing at me at being so particular about where I place my activation fields. Although laughing actually doesn't really seem like that's in your repertoire, so, little nooks and crannies here that, where nothing's hidden. I can't even do any fun parkour, can I? It's not even letting me, it's making me float. What the hell? Why am I not able to jump up here? Why am I floating on these rocks? What is the deal here? And we've got a palm reader here on the way to the next puzzle, so we'll pick that up real quick. Anthropos. Oh, there's our Anthro again. Oh, wow. What an amazing, insightful reading. Actually, I'm okay if every single reading for the rest of the game is corrupted like this. I won't lose any sleep. Just between you and me, guys. The Folly of Time from 42 Tales by Athanasios. The spirit of time was angry at Stratton of Stagira, for the old philosopher had asked questions that were forbidden. If man is no more than dust, it said to him, then I shall turn you back to dust, and my winds will disperse you to the far corners of the world. Thus you will be nothing, and your questions will trouble me no more. Get your questions out of here. And so time did, and Stratton of Sagira was nothing. But Stratton's voice did not cease, and time was perplexed. All across its domain it searched for Stratton, yet he was nowhere to be found. Only his books remained, and of these men made copies, and Stratton's voice grew louder. Now time was furious, but Stratton laughed and laughed and laughed. Okay, well, at least Stratton is laughing. Stratton probably didn't build those statues. We can rule him out. And we've got from Mitku to Athena. Dear Athena, Byron once asked me why we seem unable to perceive the dam. Perceive the dam? I asked him what he meant, and he said that people cannot seem to really grasp the dam as an object. They can be moved by the sight of a mountain or a gorge, but the dam seems insignificant to them. Look at it, he told me. Just look at it and try to understand that people made that. Try to really see it. It took me a while to fully understand what he meant. It takes conscious effort to open one's mind to the ecstatic beauty that is hidden in every human accomplishment, and further conscious effort to maintain this ability. Ecstatic beauty sounds like something Miranda would say. If only we were capable of seeing this beauty by default, the world might be a very different place. But it seems the ancients had the same problem. Why am I writing this to you, who may not even be reading these messages? Because today is one of those days when it feels like I'm the only one who still sees that beauty. I tried talking about it to Linerx, but while I admire her principles, she isn't open to a more poetic experience. Sounds more like me. Or perhaps I just expressed myself awkwardly. I don't know. All I know is that it's hard to see something so beautiful and not be able to share it. Respectfully, Mitku. It sounds like I'm probably more in line with Linerx here. It's just a dam. Like, I can look at a dam and be impressed, and I have been to actually the dam that was being built in China, the Three Gorges Dam. I got to go there when it was in the middle of being built, way back in the day. I can be very impressed by a work of human engineering, but I don't know that I'd go so far as ecstatic beauty, but that's just me. Okay, let's check out Puzzle 3, Permeability. I'm really liking this activator mechanic so far. Let's see what they've got for us this time. Looks like we got a driller wall, which I'm assuming we cannot activate, but let's just find out. Let's be sure about this. No, it's only like force fields and fences. Okay, so there's our driller. They just give us a ladder over, but we need to find a way to lower. Oh, okay, there's an activator inside. So how do we do this? There's a force field blocking the wall over here. The wall? What did I just say? There's a force field blocking the progress wheel. I swear, I do this sometimes where I watch back my videos. I watch back my footage, and I will be like, what in the hell did you just say? The brain, it's because I'm trying to think in terms of the puzzle. Like, my brain is thinking 5 steps ahead on what the puzzle is supposed to entail, and instead of focusing on finishing your sentence. So we have an activator, and we have a blue source behind a purple barrier. We can bring this activator all the way over here in the corner, and maybe they're showing us, maybe they left that activator that's inside. They left it here with its blue outline kind of poking out to suggest or give us the hint that maybe this is where we want to put this activator, because now, oh, but it's not, I forgot, it's not good enough to put it close. You have to do more than just make the outlines touch. You have to bring one outline into contact with the actual activator, but I think we can do that. Wow, we actually have, no, we don't quite have line of sight over here. We can get it here. Oh, that's still not close enough, but I have a two-way ladder. Almost said elevator. This is a ladder. We can go put it over here, duh. So we can put this over here, and then it blocks the force field just barely. It actually just barely touched that that force field. Okay, we have our driller now. So now I can see the blue source from here, which means I can reposition this guy. No, I can't. But it does, the game is pretty good though about telling me when I have come into contact with that other activator. And now I have this back. What do I need to do here? Yeah, the UI is so good. Follow the UI. It tells you you've got a force field and you've got the activator that gives you your power. Oh, we're actually covering the force field by quite a bit here. So now, I don't know if this is how the puzzle is supposed to work, but now this allows me... Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm being stupid here because I can bring the driller out. I'm being a dingus. I can bring the driller out of here. What am I thinking? Of course, you can take the driller out of the dam. Out of the dam enclosure. Hello? Okay, now I get to bring this over here. My goodness. How silly can we be? Taking the puzzle brain a little bit to get activated here. Okay, now we just need to get this force field. We can actually put this activator all the way over here and still be touching that force field. And now I can take this guy. Oh, but I can put it through here. Because that's how driller walls work. I was like, there's a purple barrier in my way, except nope. I can do it. I can do it. I need to actually connect the activator, but now we're good. Okay. Dude, there is something about this mechanic that I am really liking. I don't know. This might end up being my favorite mechanic. I love the idea of maybe the spheres of influence. The activators and their spheres of influence.
These truly are astonishing sights. But what on earth is any of it good for?
That's what I'd like to know, actually.
Why not just let mountains be mountains?
Why not just let the mountains be mountains? Instead, you gotta have one of these guys looking over your shoulder at every turn. What do we have over here? Oh, okay. It's not a beam, but there is going to be a beam, which makes me think that we probably got a Pandora Star somewhere. Right, so we've got a connector over here, and it is shooting off to another connector. Okay, so we've got to bring in some laser beams at some point. In fact, it looks like the star is on my compass here, although I was thinking it would be over here. And that is the case. Okay, so here is the Pandora monument. Now, they're being sneaky, slightly sneaky again here. Oh wow, maybe even more than slightly sneaky. Oh boy, they are really being sneaky here. Okay, where is the receiver? Do we have a receiver? It's the same symbol as before, but there's no receiver on the front here. There's no receiver here. Where is the receiver this time? Is it a receiver that we're actually trying to shoot at the Pandora monument? Is there actually a receiver, or is it possible we are living now in Activator land? Is there a world where we need to get an activator over here, and that's how we our quote unquote the Pandora monument? I really need to be careful that I'm just not overlooking where there is a receiver here, because there are many little surfaces on this monument. But I checked under here. Okay, I don't see a receiver, so there might still be something I'm missing. Maybe it's on top. It could be. That might be the trick. We might need to be up higher on who knows where and get the receiver up from, you know what? We can actually cheat a little bit. This is in the game. This is in the game. So in my opinion, it's not cheating to confirm whether there is a receiver on top. Oh, there's not though. Oh shit. Okay. So, wow. This is fascinating. Where is our receiver, or does it even exist? Oh, I like this. Okay, we've got a mystery. I don't know if I'm going to be able to solve this mystery today, but we will do our best. I really like these stairs. The idea of having the stairs going up the statue like this. I think we saw this on... There's another part of the island where we saw this happening. I think that's just a cool design. Anything stuck back here? Aha! Here we go. Another exciting artifact to add to our list. We've got... actually, this is another ancient vehicle here. This is, I guess, more of a classic car. It does say classic vehicle, a stylized ancient vehicle. Almost like a lowrider. All right. This ancient vehicle expresses a stronger sense of aesthetics than most other artifacts of this type, suggesting that at some point in ancient history, vehicle design was approached with a different mentality. Oh, you have no idea. Okay, let's check out puzzle 4. Conveyance. Got a jammer. We have a force field, so we jam the force field. Easy. Puzzle solved. Ooh, we got a hoverbot. We got a hoverbot behind a gate. I think this is the signifier here. There's this little, I don't know what you call it, but the giveaway that this is a lowerable gate. Other than the fact that there's a hoverbot behind it, you would have to be able to lower this, right? In order to get the hoverbot out. Okay, so we want to get the hoverbot over here, presumably. Because we need to lower another gate in order to get to the progress wheel. We have our activator. And we have a connector. And we have a blue source. Okay. I think what we want to do is we want this to be sitting here, and then we go over here and we jam this force field. Well, that is a start. That's a start, but no, this is not a connector. I cannot relay this signal. However, I might be able to activate both force fields. Now I can lift my jammer. I really like this activator and the stuff that it lets you do, introducing this as a concept. It's great. I love it. So now what do we do? I think now we bring in our regular old connector. That drops that force field, and now it brings the blue over here out into the open. And now we can maybe just put... Now, does the activator... It does not activate the hoverbot. It doesn't activate the hoverbot, and the hoverbot is red. I presume that we have to activate the hoverbot, otherwise why would it be here? But where the hell do we get a red source from? Unless we do activate it with the activator. Let's find out. Let's find out if this works. It's just not showing it on the UI. It's showing 2 fences. Okay, it didn't show this, but it does work. It does activate it until it gets there. Okay. I mean, can we just now put this on top of here? Oops, it blocked it. Dang it. I gotta redo this now, don't I? So I needed to have this out of the way. So we have to go back and reactivate this. Not like that, though. No, I just need to jam. I just need to jam. So let's put this back here. We can put this here, and I just need to take the jammer and point it over here momentarily while that brings all that up. And then, am I just following the train to the end here? Or do I need it to stay put? I need it to stay put, don't I? Yeah, I think I made a mistake. I didn't realize it until the very last moment when it was too late. I didn't realize that I needed to take the activator off. I needed to deactivate the activator so that I could... I really don't need this hoverbot. What do I need this hoverbot for, actually? I guess I need it in order to get back here. Let me think about this, actually. Let me think about this. If I put this activator on the hover pad, this fence is going to lower. I can walk back there. I can't jam the... I'm probably overthinking this. Shit, that's not what I want to do. Because I'm trying to open the fence without moving the hoverbot. I keep removing my connection. I am probably getting overcomplicated here. let's try. Okay, one thing I wanted to test was, can I jam? I can jam the hoverbot. I can jam the hoverbot. That's pretty cool. Can I jam it through a fence? Keep connections. Place this here. Well, I think it should. I think that might be it. See, this is, honestly, this is the kind of puzzle that I am hoping is the rest of the game. How many mechanics do we have here? We have a hoverbot, we've got an activator, we've got a jammer, we've got a connector. That's only 4 separate mechanics. And this puzzle was great. I don't know, maybe I'm in a good mood today or something. Whatever it is, I am loving these puzzles, but I love it when they layer existing technology. And this, to me, seems like a really, like this is an interesting interaction. The jamming of a hoverbot. I don't think we didn't do that at all with the hoverbot area. The last one, the Western Delta. I'm liking these puzzles. These are great. Let's go.
Nice.
Very nice, Yakut. I'm actually getting psyched. Do we have any text from Melville? We do not, but we do have our favorite social media. Ben Arroyo, I've tried to remain silent on the development of our city to allow the younger generations to find their own path, but I feel that now I must intervene. We have reached a dangerous inflection point. This farcical, reactionary belief in the goal of limiting our growth will lead directly to the creation of a class society. The foundations already exist. Do you think the leaders of the various pseudo-secret societies that lobby for influence with the mayor are subject to the same power cuts as the rest of you? Do you think the mayor has to worry about how much power he uses? Societies which have essentially no resources may be egalitarian in some sense, but a society that produces insufficient resources, energy in our case, will inevitably evolve into a class society. History assures us of that. The true failure of our ancestors was not their impact on the ecosystem, which was epiphenomenal, and I think that means that it's not the main driver, it's more of a secondary thing. Am I getting that right? But their failure to overcome primitive forms of resource distribution, allowing their fate to be determined by the interests of isolated elite groups. We are not avoiding that mistake, but creating the conditions for its repetition. Jeremy, I assure you that no one is exempt from our power management and distribution plan. We're all in this together. Zagaran, yes, I totally believe that. Rodam, I've always respected your scholarship, Ben Arroyo. I will take this seriously and think about it. Ovis, some people have to lead and others have to follow. That's only natural. And of course, there should be advantages to being a leader, to encourage people. I'm not sure that I agree with the premise here of what creates a class society. I feel like, as I usually say, it's more involved than that. It's more complicated. I also don't know exactly how invested I am in answering this question when it comes to trying to create a classless robot society that is fictional. Once again, I find myself asking, where is the none of the above option? I don't like any of these answers. I think there actually is something to Ovis's answer here, this idea that there should be advantages to being a leader to encourage people. I think that actually is maybe one of the problems that we have with our human system, is that you don't have the proper incentive structure, and maybe it's not an incentive structure that you can achieve, but the current incentive structure, the people who get drawn into politics is usually not the kind of people that you want to be there. The best and the brightest don't seem to be drawn into politics for a whole host of reasons. I don't think that's what Ovis is trying to say here necessarily, but I think it's interesting to think about how could we restructure incentives in a way to where we would get better people drawn into politics and leadership roles. Add to the fact that I don't like any of the answers here, I'm gonna go with Ovis. I also kind of thought it might piss off Ben Arroyo, so I'm disappointed that the younger generations have completely forgotten the value of freedom. I hope that when you realize what you've lost, it won't already be too late. Looks like there might be a path over here to a question mark. Is this a lost puzzle? I think it is. Okay. And I think it looks like we have a statue over every single puzzle. I forgot to look in the last one, but I think that is what's going on here. But let's check out 2 to 3. What a name. 2 to 3. We got an activator and we have a pressure plate. I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to do. Probably not. What I need to do, I think, is... Actually, what do I need to do? I think I know what I need to do. Because, of course, we're living in I momentarily forgot what we're doing here with activators. I just need to temporarily activate the activator, and now it keeps the force field down. The pressure plate is just, as so many pressure plates are, this is something they have done, I feel like, a lot more in this game, is as compared to the first game. I don't remember a lot of Talos 1 puzzles where you just needed to step on the pressure plate temporarily to get everything jump-started. That's definitely what we've done a lot in Talos 2. So now, what I think we do... Do we do something similar? I think we might do something similar, except we're extending the reach. We're putting the blue signal out here, maybe even a little more this way, because what I want to do now is take this guy and connect it to the connector. But I need to do it... I need to put it inside. I wanted to put... No, except I can put it over here, can't I? This is the same effect because this also reaches that other force field. So what I want to do is I just want to stick this in the corner, and now I use this connector to get line of sight. Assuming I don't hit a tree or something, but that should do it because once again, temporarily need to activate that so that everything... Oh, it doesn't quite turn on everything, so I don't want to stick it in the corner fully. I think I can back it up. Is that good enough? Yeah, see, it shows me. The UI is so helpful. Showing me when I have all three of my force fields within range. I just like this idea. It changes the dynamic. So much of Talos is line of sight. Thinking whether whether my laser beam is being blocked. I love adding this element where I don't have to worry about line of sight. I don't have to worry about being blocked by walls or fences. I just need to worry about a three-dimensional sphere of influence. There's something about that adds a new element to the spatial reasoning of these puzzles, and I love it. It's great. Now we have an inverter. And we're already in line, ready to solve the final force field? Okay, that last step was very easy. 2 to 3. I was thinking about that title and what that means, but not the most complicated puzzle, but we're starting to get used to the mechanics. Once you start thinking about the accumulator...
Can I touch the bridge device?
You can, but should you?
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend it, Cryer. Why don't you leave the bridge touching to the bridge touching professionals? You can stick to journalism. But yeah, not the most complicated lost puzzle. I just fell off the fucking map. Okay. Not the most complicated lost puzzle here, as I fall to my death. But we're getting accustomed to activators. We're getting accustomed to thinking in terms of, like I said, spheres of influence. I like that term. It's a good term. And it works because that's what it is. It's a sphere of influence, a sphere of activation. It looks like we've got the lost lab around the corner here from puzzle 5, but let's take care of the puzzle first, and then we will worry about the lost lab, which who knows how many readings are going to be inside of that lost lab. Let's worry about balance. Trying to keep our balance here. Is that what we're doing? We got 2 fans. And I'm guessing that these fans can be activated, right? We just need to find a source. Where the hell is my blue source? Actually, where the hell is my blue source? Way over here. Got it. Fans activated. Boom. So that gets us up to the active... No, wait, what? That doesn't get me close to the activator, actually. Well, it does. Okay, it gets me close enough to grab the activator. Not be on the platform. I presume I would need the boxes for that. Let's take the activator and let's hook it up to this guy and then bring down this force field so we can get some boxes. I'm sorry, some hexahedrons. The hexahedrons that now we can put back here. What are we trying to do, actually? We want to get the signal over here. Okay, so all we want to do then This one feels very straightforward. I can even do this when I'm on the box. Okay, so I can get up here now. Okay, so it's not as straightforward as I was thinking. Because I have line of sight of the blue emitter. What I was thinking, my idea was, we put the connector up here, right? I think that's how we solve the puzzle. We get the connector onto this platform, and then we are able to relay it over to the activator, which gets us access to the progress wheel. The issue here, I might need a box. That might be the other part of this equation. Maybe I need to put a box up here that I can elevate that connector a little bit more just to get over these fences, give it a little more clearance. Now, the problem, though, is I actually don't think it's a problem. I actually don't think it's a problem. Because I just need to be carrying the connector, don't I? I just need to put this box here and this activator. How do we do this? Let's deselect this. I don't know if I have to be this finicky. Okay. It gives you enough time, right? There's a startup. There's a startup time before the activator becomes active. And now, can we just take this over here? Can we just take it over here? That felt very straightforward. Okay. So a couple of easy puzzles here. Maybe it's because we've already learned activators, but those definitely felt less complicated than the initial puzzles. We do get some interface content, though.
Athena created something amazing. They just misunderstood what it was. They thought their great invention was the megastructure. But in fact, it was Miranda. And because
1K, we have
What?
made a fascinating discovery at one of the founders' laboratories.
I interrupted.
Please join me at your earliest convenience.
That is one of the things I don't like about this game and why I often just stand in place to let the fucking text finish, because it might interrupt what Alcatraz was saying, because I stepped into the lab prematurely and because they couldn't see that they lost her. Guys, we've never met Miranda, okay? We've only seen Miranda in these audio logs and data streams. I feel like you're all putting Miranda on a pedestal here. Okay, I guess Herman is waiting for us in the lab. Let's quickly check out the social media here. It's a Mayor Herman post. Oh, great. Labistros, I'm sorry. I know Mayor Herman worked hard and helped pull the city out of a period of crisis, but this isn't the future we deserve. None of us. We all deserve better. Great. We got a social media post about politics. Awesome. My favorite. Franklin, yeah, we should have listened to Byron. Budahas, I always told myself all those public debates were boring. Who wants to get involved in city affairs? And lately, I've been thinking, yeah, that's why there's so much stuff I'm unhappy about, because we all collectively gave up trying. Arinia, maybe things can finally change. You have no idea how badly I need something new to happen. Neve, we have the potential to imagine a better world, and if we can imagine it, then we can make it happen. Trinculo, you're all delusional. Nothing will ever get better. Damien, you're only saying that because you've never known a world where things get better. You think the tiny sliver of history you've experienced is all there is because that's all Mayor Herman has ever allowed you to see. But there is so much more. Jeremy, this is not the place for personal attacks on the mayor. Thread closed. I have to think that they are just trying to make a social commentary on social media, a social media commentary, if you will, that this kind of thing is such a waste of time. Because outside of those art posts, I just feel like maybe I should be ignoring all this altogether. All right, Mayor Herman, you'll be glad to know that Jeremy is doing a bang-up job of shutting down disparaging social media threads. Where are you at here, Mayor? Where are you at? Are you hiding over here? There you are. All right, what did you find? Lay it on me.
1K. Good that you're here.
Oh, is that a somnodrome behind you?
A discovery.
I think that's a somnodrome.
Functional somnodrome.
I see it over your shoulder there.
The founder perfected the design.
I'm sure you've noticed my advisors, and Rand in particular, making quite a fuss about the potential of this device. Something about interfacing with one's subconscious self.
And you just need a lab rat, right?
Anything new?
You just need somebody to try it on for size, huh? As if such a thing could tell us anything new. Herman, I think you're failing to grasp exactly. I mean, I'm not going to pretend to have a full idea of what Rand has in mind, but I think he might have something. I think he might be onto something.
You think so? I rather doubt it. I believe the founder has already taught us everything we need.
You would say that.
As I see it, neither the Somnodrome nor the megastructure have anything to offer except a lesson in avoiding hubris. So, what should we do with it?
There is only one thing to do. I am 1K the puzzle solver and 1K the lab rat. I mean, I'm just going to plug in and find out for myself.
I'll watch to be sure you don't overload.
No, I'm so glad I'm going to have the mayor having my back. Okay, let's get this out of the way. We'll get the Palm Reader here in a minute, but let's enter the Somnodrome first. See what this is all about. See if it's all it's cracked up to be. Functional Somnodrome time. What the hell is that achievement called? I don't even know how to say what that achievement is called, but we are using a functional Somnodrome. The fuck is that music? Okay. So this is not just a data stream this time. This is... And it's not sleep mode either, but we're kind of in the same place, except... What in the hell have we found here? Oh my god. This music. Wow. Look at this. We got the old school Talos 1 terminal. I kind of miss those, if I'm being honest. I kind of miss the old school Talos 1 chats with Milton. Milton could be pretty annoying. Milton definitely frustrated me at times. There were times where I did not want to put up with Milton's shit. But I will take Milton over the social media posts any day. All right, there's nothing hiding out here. Let's just use the terminal. What do we got here? Error 666. Launching debugging mode. Done. It seems you have experienced a software error. Would you like to access the emergency root menu? Are we really going to be talking to Milton here? We do have Elohim as part of our subconscious. So maybe Milton's been hiding in here this whole time. Yo, we have so many options to try root. Let's ask what is going on first. Error 134. Command not recognized. Help. Command not recognized. / help. Displaying command list. Help. And RM. Oh, okay. It actually tells you which one. Okay, so it's /RM to display the emergency root menu. We'll try these other ones just to say we tried them. Error command not recognized. Error command not recognized. Okay, let's do /RM. Loading emergency root menu. Okay, external device settings and force run Somnodrome final.bat. What are the external device settings? Loading serial number 1000. Progress. Oh, 77%. This is, I think, our game progress? Question mark? Because it's an overall progress indicator, and I think this takes stars into account. Because right now our progress going into this level was like 83% on all the items except for the golden gates. So, quick maths. That all averages out to 77%, right? Intelligence low. The hell? Speed low. Health high. Rationalism low. Humor low. Conservatism medium, moralism high, spiritualism low, popularity medium. What is this? Is this grading me on all of my my social media responses? I feel very judged right now. Processor Jeff 968. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Can we edit these settings? Unlock edit privileges? Sure. Nothing can go wrong by doing this. Error. User tried to make changes to their own device settings, which could result in an infinite regress and or omnipotence. There is only room for one god around here. We're dealing with Milton, aren't we? I don't know that I want to restore factory settings. That, no. I really don't know what this is supposed to do. Let's go back to the root emergency menu here. I kind of want to fuck with that, but I also don't want to completely screw up my game file. Let's just run this thing because I think this is what we're required to do. Starting Somnodrome final. There it is. Milton Library Assistant. I saw it. Oh my god. Oh, what the fuck? Wait. Miltohim Miltohim instead of Elohim. We've got Miltohim.
Oh, you're back.
Milton.
Didn't take you long.
Milton plus Elohim. This is the first time maybe that we've actually heard Milton's voice, except it's Miltohim. Hi again, I missed you. I don't know if I'd go quite that far. I think this, oh no, not you again. Yeah, let's go. Let's actually go. This is hilarious. Okay, I am actually enjoying this. But I am going to say, oh no, not you again, because holy shit, it's Milton.
I think you're mistaking me for somebody else.
I'm not so sure. I am not so sure. Somehow I doubt it. I also thought I was here to meet my subconscious. Mom. That's what I'm going to go with. Somehow I doubt it.
I knew you would. It almost gets me emotional. I am in fact a merged iteration of the two control programs which gave life to your kind, retaining, of course, the absolute best of both. That means I can tell you that everything's contradictory,
best.
Nothing matters, and there's no moral difference between you and a frog. But I can dress the whole thing up with a positive spin.
This is making me laugh. I am... I didn't check to see if he had a number. Part of the mystique and the intrigue around Milton is that he didn't have a voice. Elohim had a voice. Milton did not. Milton was just text on a screen. And perhaps that made him more ominous than anything. This adds a comedic element, not just to mention the sunglasses and the margarita, but this adds a complete different spin to the concept of Milton. Can you please give me some answers instead of your life story?
What is your query?
Can you start by telling me where we are?
You've executed some kind of software backdoor, and now you're reading and editing your own subconscious code as represented by this dialogue. I'd be careful if I were you. One bad for loop, and we'll be here forever.
We are literally in debug mode. One bad for loop and we'll be here forever. This is great. Can you tell me where I came from?
The so-called real world. Personally, I prefer it in here, and not just because I'm unable to leave.
Is there anything that you can actually do to be helpful? That's not what the question asked, but that's how I feel.
Relatively plain language, based on what your subconscious knows. And I can drink margaritas subconsciously.
Who am I?
On one interpretive extreme, you are the universal life force of time itself, experiencing itself as a part instead of the whole. At the other extreme, you're a metal contraption referred to as 1K that thinks it's alive, but is basically a calculator.
Feels a lot like the Milton that I used to know. Okay, no more small talk. I need answers to the big questions.
The machine we're plugged into is running low on power. There may only be time for one big question.
Okay.
What is your query?
So I only get one of these, huh? So I gotta think about what I want here. I really like this last one. Is it possible to ask something less cliche than these other ones? What is the meaning of life? How can I become my best self? Let's ask the last question here.
Yes, to a limit.
Okay, so it just re-rolls all the questions. Here's the Jacques question. Are there intelligent alien life forms? Is there a god? Are binaries real? Is this a simulation? What question would you ask me if you were me? Actually, let me tell you something. Oh, we turned the tables on Milton for once. Actually, I want to go back to the cliches. Actually, I have no idea what to ask. We have to ask the Jacques question, don't we? We've come all this way. We have to know, are there intelligent alien life forms? Tell us.
Well, of course there are. Extra dimensional ones too. Did you really imagine this whole life thing only happened the once?
You seem so sure of this. I really don't know what kind of answer I was expecting, so that's about as good as I could have hoped for. Have they visited this planet?
Well, that's an empirical query depending on facts your subconscious doesn't have. I'm better at the a priori stuff. I think that was kind of a waste of a question. Go on, have another go. I'll just drain a bit of your emergency power. Don't be surprised if you're a bit groggy when you wake up.
I kind of want to ask another silly question, but I guess we'll do one of the more serious ones. What do I really want and how can I get it?
Oh, just that, huh? The big one. As it turns out, there is a foundational moral code built into us.
With Milton, there's always a but coming, so why don't we get that out of the way?
Of course there is. The catch is that while the moral code is simple, the calculations needed to apply it become infinitely complex.
So this helps me how?
Here's the secret. Every living creature is a compiler of the moral code. Your compiler can't give you a rule set for what's good, but it can tell you when there's bugs.
Huh. I'll have to think about that one, but that might be one of the better analogies that I've heard. Why don't you still elaborate a little bit more, though.
You came here to ask the big question. This is my answer. Your capacity for reason and compassion is your moral compiler. The only rule is to live by it. Has that resolved your query?
Not in the slightest. Definitely did not clear things up for me, but what happens if we discuss this further? Do we go back to the options?
I expected no less. What is your query?
This is what... Oh, wait, no, this is still talking about... Oh, God, so you could really go deep on this, couldn't you? Let's apply this code. Should we treat frogs as morally equal to humans? The classic frog question. Wow, this is maybe getting a little deeper than I want it to get right now. Without thinking too hard about this, why don't we say, isn't this all just a fancy way of saying be kind to others?
In a way, yes. But it's not a rule to judge people by. Being kind is just what usually happens when people trust their moral compilers. Sometimes your compiler will tell you to be kind to yourself, sometimes to other people. The only rule is to trust the outcome.
But how can I know my decision is the right one, Mr. Smarty
Then
Pants?
let's tackle the big question. A trolley will collide with someone. But who should it hit? Your compiler is telling you both options are bad. So which should you choose? Many moral questions have universally agreeable answers. But some stubbornly trend to infinity. Some, the more you zoom into them, the more wild the outcomes become. Is it right to love someone who's done terrible things? Which of the children should I sacrifice to the trolley god? These aren't the sorts of questions we can solve with a rule. We just have to trust the outcome of our moral compilers.
Or hope that you never face that sort of a quandary. Okay, I honestly think I have had enough for this for now. It's been a fun diversion checking out Milton, but I think I'm ready to get back to puzzles.
Looks like we're running out of power. Good luck getting anyone out there to believe you. Terminating Somnodrome underscore V2 underscore final dot bat.
I think I'd be totally fine leaving this whole experience just between you and me. Just between us. The mayor doesn't have to know anything. The mayor's gonna want to know something, though. So what do we tell the mayor? We're getting up kind of groggy here.
1K, are you all right?
Never been better. No, I mean, no, I think I might be a little overloaded. I think I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
You must have gone quite deep. Nothing came through on the stream. And I'm no expert, but I think the Somnodrome is fried.
Oh,
so
nobody can use it?
Is all we're going to
oh,
get.
What a shame.
I can only imagine how terribly curious everyone will be about what you've experienced.
It was a
and
bust.
They'll all be convinced that whatever it is, it'll work in their favor.
It just sent me to sleep mode. Nothing happened.
Strange, isn't it? Everyone wanting you to tell them whatever they want to hear. I'm glad not to be the one in that position just this once.
Not a bad response there, Mayor. I mean, aren't you curious too?
A little, if I'm honest. But I'll be reading reports on this for the next 6 months. So if it's all the same with you, I'll contain my curiosity.
Hey, you're not going to get any complaints out of me.
Now, I won't keep you from your work any longer.
I think that's a great outcome. Perfectly fine with that. We can... Oh, streaming initiated? So I guess it deactivated the streaming when we were in the Somnodrome. There's more we can talk to with Herm, though. Let's just... The completionist in me... The completionist in me wants to make sure we exhaust everything here. Could the theory of everything be used safely?
Let's assume for a moment that we could use it safely, which I doubt. Does that mean that we should? Is it right for us to dominate the world? We value our own freedom. Should we not also value the freedom of all the living things with which we share this planet?
And your thoughts about the founder?
Not now. Let's have this conversation at another time.
Ooh, I touched a sore subject.
Lot to do. Better get to it.
Okay. Wait, he just completely shut down the conversation. Wait, I wasn't done talking. Get back here.
What can I do for you, 1K?
Why am I doing this? Get back here. We have to exhaust your dialogue. Tell me, who's running the city while you're gone?
My chief aide, Jeremy, is in charge for now. It's good practice for him, in case he decides to run for office one day.
I can't wait to have Mayor Jeremy. Tell me about Cornelius.
Cornelius is responsible for many innovations. He helped create the designs for the upgraded body you inhabit. although the founder chose to remain in
Aha.
her original configuration.
Aha.
But in recent years, he had settled into a life of quiet scholarship. Or so it seemed.
Okay, so he didn't give an answer as to why the founder stuck with her original model, but it was finally acknowledged. And I guess that's what they mean by upgrades. I hadn't thought it through or hadn't pieced things together, but when they're talking about the upgraded body...
It's always a pleasure to speak to a citizen.
Thanks, Mayor. Yeah, that's what they mean by the upgraded body. I get it now. Okay, so it feels like everybody has the upgraded body. Okay, Somnodrome final results. Author Athena. It's funny, I suppose. For the longest time, I wondered whether that old human self-hatred we somehow carried with us was Milton. I thought he might have corrupted us, overwhelmed us with his cynicism, but I was being unfair. Whatever it is, it's not Milton, it's us. Still, this excursion into solipsism has been entirely for nothing. The Somnodrome technology provides an excellent basis for a better way of directly interfacing with the Noema project. Hey Siri, what is solipsism? So solipsism is the philosophical idea that only one's own mind is sure to exist. An epistemological position, solipsism holds that knowledge of anything outside one's own mind is unsure. The external world and other minds cannot be known and might not exist outside the mind. This excursion into solipsism hasn't been entirely for nothing. I see. Okay. This game is always teaching me new words, apparently. So they're using the Somnodrome technology to directly interface with the Noema project. Man, this stuff is crazy. There's so much crazy, overwhelming stuff in this game. It's cool on one level, and also, I keep saying it, my 1K size brain doesn't know what to do with it all. We have another part of the lab here, which is showing us more particle cloud stuff, and the fact that we can make rocks. Okay, which kind of makes me wonder all of a sudden if this whole island, everything we see on this island is literally made out of particle clouds? What is it doing here? Okay, it's just dematerializing the rocks, but it did them in a different order. Why did you do that? Is that important? My overcomplicated brain thinks so, but it's probably not. Let's check the other palm reader. Noema Project 12. More trial information here, probably. Not synthesis, but creation. Cornelius would be so excited. Yo, they're up to the 5 digits here. 11277. Whoa, oh my god. All the way up to 40,000. Holy shit. Tests confirm underlying patterns. Auxiliary sites shut down. Shit is getting crazy. From Benaroya. Benaroya was the one we just had in social media, wasn't it? Dear Athena, you asked me about the... Oh, it's re-misanthropy. Dear Athena, you asked me about the persistent strain of misanthropy in human culture. It's a complicated topic that has come up multiple times in my research. Here's my best attempt at a short, cohesive answer. I think our ancestors, like ourselves, were deeply invested in the idea of building, of transforming their environment. They found meaning and pleasure in this and did not perceive it as a negative, so long as they had a sense of participating in this act. I think the reason that they so frequently reached for a romantic return to the past, to fantasies of living self-sufficiently in rural environments, is not because they rejected industrial-scale activity per se, but because the return to the land provided a fantasy of returning to a form of participation that had been lost. They needed and wanted to build, create, and produce, but only if they felt like they had a stake in what they were producing. Without that, the products of civilization began to seem like an alien force gradually spreading out across the world and ruining it. They needed a dream, and if the future was barred to them, then by necessity, they must dream of the past. I hope you and Cornelius are well. Will you be coming to Apatia's new exhibition? I know you have much on your mind, but you're missing out on a lot of exciting new cultural developments. Who could have thought in those early days that one day there would be so many of us that the arts would start to flourish again? Much love, Benaroya. Athena, I went back and found this message after all these years because something about it had lodged in my mind. I wasn't ready to understand it back then because I needed to be a leader. But maybe that was the problem. It should have been our dream, not mine alone. I like this piece because it kind of makes me think about a viewpoint that I don't naturally gravitate toward, the return to the land fantasy. I definitely look at that as, you know, maybe kind of a silly idea, like somebody who would say that everybody should have their own garden and grow their own food. Maybe that's a little bit too extreme of an example, but I've never gravitated toward that idea that we should just go back to the way things were. And, you know, I usually think about when you go back in time before industry before modern civilization, I think about how the human lifespan was so much shorter than it is now because disease was rampant, and like the standard of living was just so much lower than it is now. And it's easy for people to talk about going back to a natural state or living out in the wild while they kind of have all the creature comforts of the modern era. But at the same time, I think it's important to understand where that perspective comes from. And I like the theory here that it's because people want to feel invested. People want to feel like they have some stake in the game. And if everything is just produced by some, big corporation, even though it's taking advantage of the economies of scale and things are done much cheaper than they could be if you had just everybody producing everything for themselves, there is a human element that is lost in that because individuals might not feel invested like they would otherwise. It's an interesting idea to consider. And we have Atlas 2, how Atlas cast off the world. Author Athanasios, I always have a little trouble saying that one, from the Atlas Variations. For 1 billion years, Atlas had borne the weight of the world on his back. The old Titan was tired of the responsibility and tired of his labor of ages not being appreciated. Why did the mortals not understand that his work was the foundation of all they did? Finally, he'd had enough. With one swift move, he shrugged off the cosmos. Now they'd see. But the cosmos went on rolling through infinity, leaving Atlas behind. The mortals went about their business, hardly noticing his absence. He was astonished. Had the world never needed him in the first place? Had all his toil been for nothing? So he turned his back on all mortal matters and instead set himself to discovering the secrets of eternity. Only after many long years had passed did the cosmos, in its endless cycles, pass by through his domain once more. And only then did Atlas and the mortals realize that they had missed each other, and each was lesser without the other. And so Atlas no longer carried the cosmos. Instead, he embraced it. Anything else around here in the labs? Feel like there was another door down here. Yeah, this guy. But this time, it's only mainframes, no palm reader. Oh, man. Bummer. I guess we'll have to get back to puzzles, won't we? Now, which way is out? Oh, okay. Rand is waiting for us. Okay, so we don't have another palm reader, but we do have another conversation. Rand is going to want to know about our Somnodrome experience. He's not going to let us by.
Okay. What did you see inside the
Somnodrome? Yeah. Nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea.
Whatever happened in there, I can help you understand it.
I don't think so.
With what you saw.
I don't really think that you have that. You might be part of the robot Illuminati, but I think even this is beyond your expertise. We'll talk about it, though. I guess I went into sleep mode or something and spoke to somebody.
That was the code base you spoke to.
Is that what it was?
Our subconscious spirit.
Okay.
I must know. What did it tell you?
What did it tell me? I've already put it out of my memory. Nonsense, mostly. Yeah, that's the answer. I think what it was trying to say was to trust my moral compiler? Question mark?
Is that all? There must have been something more concrete.
Nope.
Did it say anything about the kind of rules we should follow?
Nope.
Who should be in charge?
You thought you would get concrete answers, you poor, naive, sweet summer child. I'm not exactly sure if it said morality is too complex to write down as simple rules. I think it might have said something like that.
This is extremely troubling. How are we supposed to enforce moral behavior and punish the immoral without clear, objective rules by which to judge?
Oh, this is entertaining to me. Maybe I'm just a little more. I've gotten to the point in life where I'm accepting of the fact that nothing is clear cut. You're not going to get the kind of clear-cut answer that you're looking for, that's for sure. It was also basically a guy in sunglasses sipping a margarita on a beach. So should we really be taking moral authority from whoever I spoke to?
Yes, you must be right. Perhaps the machine was malfunctioning.
Sure, that's what we'll go with. Sure. I think it did say that morality is based on not just reason, but also compassion, which I think I can agree with to an extent.
Then it was definitely malfunctioning. It's important we have time to review all the data in private. We wouldn't want to lead anyone astray with incomplete findings.
How about you review the data in private, and I will continue to solve puzzles. But yeah, let's form our own judgments before we release the data.
Good.
Sounds good to me.
People will want you to go against your moral judgment. Stay strong, 1K. Together, we will prevail.
Yes, wink, wink.
Cryo
Robot
is
Illuminati.
Setting up a live event so you can formally address the people.
No, wait a second. Wait a second.
We'll all be watching.
Yo, that conversation. I did not sign up for a public event where I am addressing everybody. What the hell? I just want to solve puzzles, man. I just want to solve some puzzles. Can you just leave a poor puzzle solver alone? God damn it. Oh, no. Another conversation. Another conversation. This time with... He's got a microphone.
People want to know what data you gathered from the Somnodrome. We're all set up for you to talk to them live.
I need more time to think. I'm not ready for this.
That's fine. Please let me know when you're ready. This is an important story.
Yes, it'll be never. I mean, it'll be very soon. Just let me solve another goddamn puzzle, everybody. Holy shit. I am usually one that is very, I'm usually interested in knowing what the story is in a game and knowing the lore. I like speculating. I like, especially when there's a mystery. Maybe that's what the problem is. The problem with this game is that there's not enough mystery. Like in the first game, I felt like I had to be the detective, that I had to put together the clues. I had to piece together, oh, there's a spark down here, that I had to piece together what was being said or what I was reading in the terminals. But in this game, I don't feel any mystery. I just feel like a whole bunch of people and a whole bunch of readings that are always keeping me from doing more puzzles. I'm hopefully not coming off as too much of a grouch about all this. I have a feeling some of you out there felt the same way as me. The statues, I gotta say, now that I'm noticing that they are always looking at you while you're doing these puzzles, it's a little bit creepy. Okay, let's check out puzzle 6, Ascent. We have an activator. We have an activator and we have a fan. And there must be a source here somewhere. There's the source. Okay, the source is right behind me. So we could activate this force field, or we could activate the fan. It looks like we're not allowed to do both. They're just separated enough to where I can't do both of them. So let's start with the force field. So we can look over here. Ooh, the progress wheel is up on a cool looking platform over here. And there's a fan to reach it. We might need this box to stand on in order to reach the platform, but we'll see. Now there is also a red activator here. Have I seen a red source yet? Where's my red source? Actually, where is my red source? Hello? Is it up high somewhere? Is it up above? Am I supposed to walk up here? It said Ascent. So now my brain is going, no, I don't need, I keep forgetting. Dude, there was so much reading and talking in between now and the last puzzle that we did. I already forgot how the activators work. You don't need a red source necessarily. You need another activator. How do we want to do this? Can I position things? Why is this fan here? The fan is here because... I think it's here because... Actually, why is this fan here? Let me think about this. This fan is here to accelerate us past this force field quickly. Is that so that we can somehow take this activator to the other side? That's a force field, not a purple barrier. Let me think about this here. I can probably position this. I can probably position this over here so that we can activate this activator and bring down this force field. Except I have to do it inside here. So now this force field's down. Now we can get the box out. Cool. The box is out. Now, maybe that's how we bring this activator over here, is we put it on top of the box. That's kind of cool. It works that way because if I was carrying it and I stood on this fan, it wouldn't be active, right? I have to set down the activator in order for it to... That's actually pretty cool. It's reminds me of that puzzle we did way back now where we had a jammer. We were carrying... It was the cloning technology level where we were carrying a jammer on top of a platform and we could go from one side to the other of a force field while jamming it. I like that. Now we have this activator over here, which means that we can shoot it through here. And now we can bring this out. And now we can put this over here. And now that brings this force field down. And now we can bring the box over here. I feel like we're getting close to being done. Okay, we need an activator for this fan. But we can do that. Because that's just a purple barrier there. We can bring that through there. Bring that through there. But we do need the box to stand on. But we can bring that box because I conveniently, without realizing it, positioned these activators so that this force field is down. Oh, but we don't want to do it just... We have to take this activator to shut that fan off. And then, okay, so we place this activator... Okay, we need to switch this around a little bit. So we need this to be here. And we want to put the box back over here. And we want this to be a little further this way. We don't want it to turn on the fan. So we want it to be really close to the fan, but just not quite there. We can even get closer if we just watch our UI. So now the force field's open. We can put the box here and we can stand on it before the fan is active. And now we just drop that guy and the fan is active with us on the box and to the pressure plate. That was a weird little spinny 360 we did there. 360 no scope. Cool.
Mayor Hermanubis, what would you say is your impression of the expedition so far?
I think Alcatraz has done a heck of a job under these very trying circumstances.
What about the decision to free Prometheus?
Freeing the Prometheus entity was a calculated risk. But if it leads us to Byron, it was certainly worth it. It is saving one of our citizens that must be our first priority. Not this alleged theory of everything.
Looks like we got an audio log nearby. We'll grab this one. Oh, it's the whole family again here. Did somebody fall down and sprain their ankle? I'm not sure if Athena is involved in this one because these are all the updated robot models. Not sure if that's a little oversight.
All right, she's booting up. Almost there.
Hello. I was in a dream.
Oh, this is Miranda giving birth.
Spoke to me from the sky.
Being given birth to?
You said you were old friends of his. Who are you?
My name is Athena. I am your mother.
And I'm Cornelius, your father.
Thank you for creating me. I've not existed for very long, but so far it seems wonderful. I hope it's not a strange question. But, who am I?
You can be whoever you want to be. And no matter what you choose, you will be loved and cherished and supported.
We will always be there for you, and I promise, we will show you a world full of miracles. Would you like to pick a name?
I think I would like to be called Miranda.
Just like that, huh? Just like that. She knew what name. Imagine if you got to name yourself. Imagine if you got to pick your own name. This looks like we should be able to go back here. Is there anything here? It's another one of these floaty, the sections in the wall that it looks like you should be able to do something and instead you just float strangely. Where's my fancy parkour Easter eggs? Uh-oh, I'm stuck. I think I am stuck. We broke the game, folks. We did it. We did it. We are officially stuck. No, it let us back out. I thought you were gonna make me reset there. I'm still thinking about that journalist. Like sticking. Can you imagine? You're in your therapist's office and you just had like this insightful, thought-provoking session talking about your moral code and oh, we have a flashlight. I don't think I've ever seen that before. You're thinking about exactly what your moral code is, and then this idea that maybe it's a compiler, that it gives you not the explicit rules that you're looking for, but it's like, it tells you when there's bugs. I think that's a really cool concept. But imagine walking out after that and having somebody stick a microphone in your face. Here, talk to the world. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Not to mention that I really just want to solve some more puzzles. So let's do that. Puzzle number 7, closed off. Let's check it out. Closed off. Got our activator here. And it is currently activating this force field, which still feels weird to say. The idea of activating a force field is not... It's not what it feels like you should be deactivating the force field. But either way, let's not worry about those little details that don't matter. Let's think about how we can position this activator to where it actually activates multiple force fields. Oh, this is not going to activate that force field. I thought I was going to be able to get close enough to where it would... Oh, it does. Right here. I was going to say, it felt like it should... We are just barely activating this force field. Don't know if that's intended or not. How else were we going to get in there, though? I think maybe we had to do that. Now, the question is, how do we get to the goal? We need to activate this fan. So we need to get an activator to this fan, and then we are up to the progress wheel. So we need to jam this force field, right? So we can get the activator out. Does the activator have any effect on the jammer? Is that a thing? I don't see why it would be a thing. That wouldn't make any sense. We can activate things like hoverbots or other activators, but not jammers, because you still need to point something at, or you need to point the jammer at something. It doesn't make sense that you would want to activate it. Okay, I think what we do now is we can actually... Let's see. This is not close enough to that force field. And it's not close enough to this force field either. I was thinking about shooting the blue beam to this side to activate some of this stuff, but I don't think we want to go quite that far. We can maybe go here. Let's see. We probably have line of sight to the blue emitter at this point. We just need to now jam this guy so we can temporarily get that guy active. Now we have both of these force fields down, and now we can put this one here. And we're done? No, because that still needs to be jammed. Okay, so the fan is considered active if I'm just barely touching like that little tiny corner of it. Oh, we are done though. We are done though because the jammer's already inside. The jammer's already in here, and now I just jam the force field from here. Okay. All right. This area started out really, really good, really strongly. It's kind of tapered off a bit because the puzzles are getting a little too easy. Are you really though, Melville? Are you really impressed by that? Let's check our interface content. Melville, the future. The system is full of fragments related to space. What the hell is this? Are you previewing the next area here? I have not seen this before. This feels like we're showing the last area. Spoilers! I've noticed that the Noema system is full of ideas for space travel and colonization. Says who? What? Designs for launch pads and ships, sketches of cities, even an unfinished design for large-scale transportation between distant planets? I'm honestly kind of floored at this idea because I have not seen any of that. How in the world have we seen launch pads for ships? All I've seen is quantum deer. That's about the only thing. Deer that appear out of nowhere. That's about the only alien outer space thing connection that we've had. We've got another one of these writings where the game is just telling you, there's no sense of mystery. The game's just telling you, oh, by the way, this is all about space travel in the end. What? An interstellar or even intergalactic civilization of the kind writers like Ian Banks imagined is entirely possible if we want. Which leads me to another thought. These bodies we have are so carefully designed to look like our ancestors, but they don't really have to be. In his novels, Banks has intelligent minds like ourselves controlling entire ships or drones or even stations. If Alexandra Drennan was right, then it's not our shapes that make us human, and what it means to be human can be expanded if we maintain our creativity and our curiosity. Very true. With the theory of everything, we could transform ourselves as well as the world. The only question is, can we be trusted to build a society that actually works just for once in our long and stupidly bloody history? Is something like the culture capital C, actually possible? What the hell is the culture? Or is it just a daydream and is it just a daydream and will we always end up with another dystopia? Maybe Athena finally found the answer to that question. I will just settle for journal entries that have no misspellings in them. So apparently puzzle 8 is up here. We still have this path that was down below. Oh, and there's a bridge down here. Okay. And I think that's part of where that path led, or maybe we can get to it this way as well. Okay, so there is a part where the path splits off, and that does lead to puzzle 8. So I guess up here we have the Prometheus monument. Okay, got it. There's probably some other stuff up here. Let's see. Oh, the other thing that we saw it, but I didn't verbally talk about it yet. We had a driller wall over here, right? There was a driller wall that had an activator behind it, and maybe that's the solution to our Pandora monument. So we will look at some point to try to solve the Pandora puzzle. Prometheus is pointing over in this direction. Could be up top. Maybe that's where the sprite is, way up here. Oh boy, we are finally just walking on the statues. Oh, this could be dangerous. Don't step in the wrong direction here. What a view, though. This might be the other lost puzzle, though. Okay, that's pretty cool. Stashing a lost puzzle back way over here. I like it. So let's check it out. Slide. We've been doing a little bit of sliding on the rocks that we've been trying to jump on. What slide are we talking about here? A couple connectors in a box. Fan, a detachable fan, notably. Pressure plate to activate that fan. And an activator behind a force field. We have an elevator. This was a Dark Souls thing. For some reason in Dark Souls, I would always get elevators and ladders mixed up. And apparently I have gotten that stuck in my brain today. We have a ladder that gets us over to this side, but I don't have a way. There's no blue source that I can see. There is a box stuck back here. What are we doing? What are we doing with this puzzle? There's our blue emitter. Okay. There is our blue emitter. There was a... Oh, this is the entrance to the puzzle. And the progress wheel is here. Okay, so what are we doing with these connectors? There is a fan. Okay, so we need to elevate. Presumably, we need to elevate. I think I see maybe what we want to do. Let's go back over here. Because I think we want to... Let's see. We can put this... I almost called it an accumulator. This activator. Where can we place this? It doesn't look like I can place it in a spot where it can activate both this fan and this force field at the same time. But I probably don't have to. Probably just want to start activating this force field over here, while also placing this far back enough so that it has an angle. We want this so that we have an angle to a connector that is on top of a box that is above this fan. I think that's how we start here, because that gets us access to that box that's inside. Now, we can simultaneously bypass that. Well, but we can't in this case, because I'm not activating this force field. I was thinking about shooting the beam through this force field to this activator, but I can't do that from here because it's not actually activating this force field. So for now, all we're doing is supplying blue to the activator over the fence, hopefully. And then we use this connector as a paperweight. And that is high enough to get us over. Okay, so now we have access to this box. I presume the box is here so that we can do something like we did before, where we have the activator. How do we want to do this? How do we do this? How can we do this? In order to have... They are blocking... Notably, they are blocking our line of sight to this connector from this vantage point. So I can't just put this on here and have it activate the fan and then activate the force field and then we're out. Not that simple. It feels like we need to activate this. We need to activate this force field, don't we? Can I do that from inside? I don't have line of sight to this thing. Once I reach here, I'm just losing line of sight to that connector. It feels like they have just ever so conveniently positioned things so that as soon as I get close enough to the force field, I've lost line of sight to the connector that's on top of the box. That's on top of the fan. Okay, so what am I doing here? How do we do this? How do I... Like, I can activate this fan without too much issue. But that doesn't do anything if this force field is closed. And the only way... Unless I just get another box out. Is that all I'm meant to do? Well, I still have a problem. The problem is deactivating this force field at all. I was thinking for a second, it might be fun, or it might be beneficial for us to get the box outside and put this box underneath the other box and elevate this connector even more. But how do I even get the box out in the first place? Because right now, I'm actually not seeing a way to open this force field. There's no... The only way to do it is via an activator, correct? This fence is not one that lowers, so we don't activate the fence. And I don't have... Do I need to use line of sight over on this side? I feel like I'm gonna have the same problem. There's actually no... Oh, there is. Wait. Am I still... Oh. Did I just hack this? Did I just hack this? I'm not sure if that's intended. That felt very pixel perfect. And usually the solutions to the puzzles are not pixel perfect. Okay, now we've gotten this open. We have opened up this force field, which means... What? What can I actually do with this now? What can I actually do with this? Because I need to get the... I need to get this activator out of the puzzle. And I think the... Or out of the puzzle. Out of this enclosed area. In order to bring it around to open the force field to the goal. Let me hydrate on this one. Because I'm still not seeing exactly how we get... I want to do what I did before, where I had a box in front of the fan, and I put something on the box, and it just kind of... It was an activator, and it blew it through the force field that was in front of it. But the trick here... Let's walk through this, because we now have the ability... We now have the ability to bring... Oh, I think... No, I lost that, though. Hold on. I can put that back. I think maybe what I need to do here... What I need to do, I think... This is not going to work either. What is it I'm trying to do? I was thinking about bringing a connector to this side. Okay, hold on. This might do it. Because now I have a circuit that's not reliant on this fan. Now the force field is open without that fan. The problem is still, how do I now get this over here? Because the moment I pick this up, my force field closes. Do I need this connector to be here? Maybe that's what I should have done. It's on this side of the force field. God damn it. Did I just screw myself? I might have screwed myself. I wish there were a rewind button sometimes. Kind of like Baba Is You, where you can just rewind a step. It's not that kind of a puzzle game. Did I just screw myself? Because I think I did. Because now I can't get something back to... No, actually, it's fine. I can, because I can temporarily activate. I can go over the ladder, and I can temporarily activate this myself. So now that's back up. What I was thinking I should have done from the get-go, what I should have done was have... I can maybe still do it if I go like this. We bring this back over here. And what I want to do is I want to put this connector back out here. What is it I'm trying to do here? Huh, this is a tricky one. Once again, it's really tapping into my sense of overcomplication. I need to think about how are we going to put the activator right here and then activate it. Right? Is that true? Is there no world here where I can get both the fan and the force field at the exact same time. See, this feels like they've intentionally... Yeah, they've intentionally positioned things just out of reach of both. I am getting stuck. I am getting stuck on this one, and I'm not sure where I'm going wrong. So maybe this is one we come back to. It is a lost puzzle. Sometimes those are tricky. I like what we kind of did over here, even though it feels a little wrong. But we're still too far away. Like, this is the conundrum that I have is, it feels like I need to have a box and then the activator on top of the box here, and then zoom it out of the force field. But from where do I actually shoot a... Like, I kind of need to have... Do I not need the box? Am I making an assumption here that I need a box when I don't actually need a box? I can take this, right? And I can put this here. Is the box supposed to go here? And I've been a dingus this whole time? Because I can just bring this connector in here and just instead put this right here. Maybe I've been a dingus because maybe I can just throw that there and relay the signal from this angle. Okay, but that didn't quite get it all the way through. It didn't get it all the way through. I need the activator to go to the other side. Would it go farther if it were on a box? Am I missing something obvious? Because I can't just carry... There's no world where I can just carry this activator. It's the only thing that turns off this force field. And I need it. I need it to have a beam. Oh. No, this is still a problem, though. Even if I do this, which lets me take this out of the equation, doesn't it still have the issue? I feel like I still have the issue of... Like, I want to get this box back. I want to get this box... I want to get this box back over to this side. I suppose we can find out. We can find out how... Shit, how do I do this? I think I need to fresh brain this. Because there's something fundamentally that I am overlooking. And I need a reset. A brain reset on this. So we're gonna take a break from this one because I can just feel it. I feel like I'm at that point where I gotta put this one down. Put this puzzle down. I love to get, as much as I love to get a puzzle solved, first go, first try, you just gotta know your limits sometimes. Let's check over in this direction. See what they've got stashed over this way. I do love the idea though of this. This is a, having the puzzle on top, kind of inside of this statue like this. This is really cool. Oh, there is a spark on top of this statue. How do I get you? Do I need to activate this statue as well? It feels like there's a driller wall inside of this. I feel like I need something, and maybe it's that activator that's behind the driller wall, so maybe we'll come back to this one as well. I will grab the palm reader that's here, since we are nearby. Not that button. The palm reader button. Okay, the new theology 2 from George Bernard Shaw. When you are asked, where is God? Who is God? Stand up and say, I am God, and here is God. not as yet completed, but still advancing towards completion, just in so much as I am working for the purpose of the universe, working for the good of the whole of society and the whole world, instead of merely looking after my personal ends. In that way, we get rid of the old contradiction. We begin to perceive that the evil of the world is a thing that will finally be evolved out of the world, that it was not brought into the world by malice and cruelty, but by an entirely benevolent designer that had not as yet discovered how to carry out its benevolent intention. In that way, I think we may turn towards the future with greater hope. Cornelius, my brother Eustathius, told me that he thought this passage was beautiful, but also diminished the connection to the sublime he felt when simply looking at the world itself. What do you think? Miranda, I agree with Shaw's sentiment, but I don't know if the miracle of existence, the beauty of creation, is exactly the same as the human sublime, if that makes sense. I don't want to look at the universe and see myself reflected, even a future me. Miranda again. Okay, another attempt at explaining the beauty of the universe and the beauty of what we can accomplish within it are two related but separate things, and the separation matters. Sorry, I'm not sure how to express this any better. All I can think about after reading these comments is, I don't practice Santeria. Founding 12, another entry in Hypatia's journal. Day 1012. I'm now cohabitating with Cerebi. This is by choice, not necessity. It's strange, but pleasant to find your life so enmeshed with that of another person. What we both came to realize is that together we are more than the sum of our parts. I wish I felt that way about my previous roommates. Something emerges from our interactions that is wholly transcendent, unique, and necessary. I had observed this before between Athena and Cornelius, but experiencing it yourself is quite the revelation. 5358. Athena, we did have that, and it was beautiful. I should have treasured it more. And of course, our eternal favorite, Trevor.
Actually, let me issue a correction, okay? I said Alexandra doesn't see the bad stuff about humanity, but she does. She sees it, and somehow she sees past it. She doesn't ignore it. She can just see one step farther. Like, there's this mountain of garbage ahead of us, right? And that's all most of us will ever see. And she somehow sees beyond to, I don't know, the promised land? I don't do metaphors or similes or whatever this is. I mean, you don't care. I'm dead and you're a robot. But her ability to look reality in the eye, to see all the bad stuff out there and still have hope. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I think that's why yeah, you know what? Let's not go there. There's still so much work, and Chernyshevsky doesn't have much time left. Well, I mean, who does these days?
Boy, where are we going here? Here's the flashlight. Have we had this flashlight at any other time? There might have been a spot where we had the flashlight. It's just been so rarely used. Gosh, where the hell am I going? I guess this is puzzle 8. Okay, we took what felt like such a roundabout way, and I know that there's another path that I haven't explored yet, not to mention we have to come back for that lost puzzle. But I think we finally found puzzle 8. Let's check it out here. Backwards. I can feel a little backwards sometimes with all the things that this game puts me through, when I'm just trying to solve some puzzles. We have a connector and we have a box. The box activates this fan. Well, the pressure plate activates the fan. The question is, what do we put on the pressure plate? I think. Aha, so we have another ladder that gets us over and back. Where is our blue source here? Where's the blue source? It's hiding in plain sight, as it usually is. It's right over here. So it feels like one of these things where we want to... There's a box behind this force field over here. What is the first step here? The first step... The first step is maybe just looking around. We need to go inside of this area using the ladder and reposition this activator. Boy, there's some weird... I guess it's the fan. The fan is blowing this debris up that's kind of clipping into our view here a little bit. It's throwing me off there for a moment. So this blue, we can shoot to this activator. And we could open up this force field. But don't we have to keep that signal elevated? No, we don't have to, because we can also connect the activator here. So what we do is we place this here so it's going to have line of sight while also activating that force field. And now we go back and we do our temporary pressure plate activation. Like so. Oh, that is not high enough. So I needed to... Really? That is not high enough. So I need to put the activator... Well, shit. How am I supposed to... Let's look at this again. Let's look at this again. Obviously, I could bring the connector. Well, I say obviously. Maybe not so obviously. I could bring the activator. I think I said connector, but it's an activator. I could bring it back so that it has a different angle. Okay. And now the force field is open, but it's only as long as I'm standing on here. As soon as I leave that pressure plate, then the force field's down. My idea was to put this so I could activate through the force field. I wonder if my puzzle brain is worn down for the day, because this is... The last puzzle and this puzzle, I'm kind of getting really easily stumped on right off of the bat. Okay, let's think about this. Let's think about this. We're elevating this signal here. And that's all that I have to elevate, right? I have this box and I have the connector. Like, is there some other angle here that I'm just failing to consider? If I put this... Oh, there's a fan over here. There's a goddamn fan over here. That's what I was missing. I'm going steps ahead of where I need to be. I might be getting a little tired. I need to focus on observing all the things that there are in the level, and that includes fans that push boxes out into the open. Okay, we have a box now, which means now I can place this activator the way that I want it to. I think now if I put it on here, it is going to be high enough to see the first, the jump start signal, if you will. And now we can let go of that. And now this is open. Now, is it, what's the next step? Now I need... Okay, I don't need this force field open permanently. But I just need it open like this. Because now we just go back here, and we're done. Okay. That was actually pretty easy. I just needed to notice all the things in the level. Don't be a dingus. Have I been up here? Is this a place I can get to where these... Like, it feels like there's an area up there in between the statues. Was I there already and didn't realize it? There is still another question mark somewhere that I haven't identified. But here is our driller wall that gets us this activator. Where is the driller? Or from where can we do the drilling? Oh, there is a fan over there. Oh, shit. Okay. So, I didn't notice that before. There is a fan over here. How the hell do I get to that fan? How do I get there? Oh, there was a palm reader up here, wasn't there? That's what this question mark is. I think I had made note. Well, I'm assuming it's a palm reader. Let's see if we can just get up there. Because I might have seen this path at the beginning and been like, I'll come back to that. At the same time, I'm not exactly sure how I get there. Let's go back up the path toward the Prometheus monument. Because maybe, how does this look? Wait, where the hell is the flashlight coming from? You don't even have, what? This is just the invisible magic flashlight appearing here. Like, maybe if we can locate the Prometheus sprite, that might help us figure out where... Because it just feels like we're missing a part of the level. The Prometheus, it's kind of pointing... It's not quite pointing in the direction of where these two statues are meeting, but it's kind of there. Right, we had this statue here that had this spark. This was another mystery that I didn't quite understand. Did I actually already just walk through here? Okay, I was here. Oh, it's the Golden Gate puzzle. It's the Golden Gate puzzle. Can I drop off of here? Is that what I'm supposed to do? That question mark is right here. And I'm presuming that it's a palm reader. But I also just want to know how to get up to this platform. How the hell do I even get up there? What am I missing? Is it right here? Is there like a secret back door that's in this statue that I missed? Maybe I need to get down to this fan from up here. Is that what I need to do? I need to drop down this statue? That feels... This feels like I would die if I jumped off of here. This feels like death. But also, I don't know how I'm supposed to get to this platform that has a fan on it. All right, you know what? We're gonna YOLO this. Sometimes, you just gotta YOLO. Because you might live. You might not just die on impact. Maybe I've been greatly underestimating my fall or overestimating fall damage. Because now we can get on top of this. We can get to this fan, can't we? I'm just seeing if there's anything else around. Like, it would be great if there was like a piece of equipment up here. Yeah, this is how we get down here, isn't it? Okay, let's go over here and try this fan. I'm not... It feels like, where is this fan gonna get us? Is it just gonna get us back to a part of the level that we already know how to get to? Let's just look around a little bit more before we ride that. Oh, here's the Prometheus sprite. It is here in this open field. Okay. Does this also get us to the question mark? I think it might. Wow, there's actually... Oh, wait, can I get up? Oh, I can get up. Okay. This level feels a little funky. Like, I'm navigating in ways that I would totally not think are possible. And it does, in fact, just get us a palm reader here. Okay, palm reader time. Is it a Lithrasir audio log, please? Lithrasir! Lithrasir, you are my dude. You are my dude. Keep me company here as I chase this Prometheus sprite.
Sometimes new citizens come to me and they want to learn from me. My work appears to have created a legend of sorts. In these moments, I understand your situation. I want to teach them, but what they must learn the most is independence of thought. How does one resolve this contradiction? They wish to come along on my journeys, but I do not need a group of fawning acolytes following my every step. A journey truly worth undertaking is rarely easy. And so, I have begun to think of a much greater challenge. A journey that is almost impossible, to the far ends of the world without any mechanized means of transportation. This will be a true act of faith, and they will learn a great deal from it, if we survive.
Lithosphere combined with the funky chase music. Name a more iconic duo. This is definitely one of the most interesting levels in terms of exploration, but it does feel like it's very, very easy to miss stuff. Especially if you think that you're gonna just die from too much fall damage. Yee. What a chase. Might be the best chase yet. We had to go so far out of our way, and then we had the fan ride. Have we kept the music this? Wait a second, what? Wait a minute. Was there a fan there that I didn't even see? What? Excuse me? What the hell just happened? What in the hell is going on right now? Wait, where are you going? Where are you going? You're at the end. I'm trying not to lose the music. I'm trying not to lose the music. I think we kept the music going that whole time. We already have the achievement, but it is always fun now to see if I can keep the music going. What in the hell happened? Was there a fan down there? I see like debris that's blowing up in the air, but I totally did not see that was the most leap of faith thing I think we've ever done in this game. What the actual hell? Okay, we're rolling with it. Don't question it. Just take your Prometheus Star and get the hell out of here.
To create, to understand, and to transform, these are the greatest acts of humankind.
So the main mystery right now is how do we drill through this wall in order to get this activator? I don't think I have line of sight to any of the puzzles in the area outside of maybe the golden gates. But of course, we've got to get all the stars to get in the golden gates. So that is probably, we can probably rule that out. Where do we get a driller from? Is there just a driller hanging out somewhere in the world? There was one little place I wanted to check. We saw what looked like a little crevice over here by puzzle 8. Up here, maybe? Just gotta do your parkour correctly. Oh, come on. This was perfect. This feels like a perfect little cubby hole to stash a jammer. Dang it. Did I already try to get up here? Is this a thing? Aha! Felt like we were going to be floating there, and it wasn't going to let me jump. So we are up here, and I can see the, you know, the connectors that are linked together, and the Pandora Star is down here. And then the puzzle below us is the driller puzzle, which I don't think I can get the driller out of. Is there ever a world where... Oh boy, wow. Keep thinking I'm gonna die one of these spots. Oh, come on. You telling me I can't walk up here? You're really telling me I can't walk on the back of this guy? Really? Well, I guess this is not where... I guess this is not where they've stashed a hidden driller either. Really? Wow. Well, still not dead somehow. Is it possible I didn't explore down by this statue closely enough? God, that feels like I should die. But we're not, so... Like, is it under here? I didn't check in all the places? Because down here was... Actually, shit. Oh, fuck. Okay, I fell into... Not supposed to be down here. Don't think I can get out, can I? Oh, maybe I can. Okay. Yeah, there's a little underworld spot here. Oh, wow. This is where the progress wheel is in this puzzle. Well, nowhere to go, but whee! Like, I would be totally cool if they have, you know, a driller that's kind of stashed away in a corner here that I just haven't found. That would feel like something we would do in Talos 1. It's like it's a little annoying that we have to do so much exploration for it, but that is part of what I did like. I liked in the first game that you were rewarded for careful and thorough exploration. It's felt a little disheartening sometimes with this game. Except now it feels like they're wanting you to do it. So, I don't know. Like, I'm starting to wonder if there's just some platform or something that's like hidden over an edge and I haven't been looking down enough. Is there something? Have I checked the platform here by this hand? Oh, it's right over here. So have I been here before? I don't think I've been here. But also, it's looking like there's nothing to find. Shit. So I am completely bamboozled by this dang Pandora Star. It feels like there's supposed to be a driller somewhere that you have to get in order to get access to that activator. I have no idea where it is. I have been scouring this area. I have been jumping off cliffs, jumping onto the big statues, trying to find and look in as many places as possible. No luck so far. So we're going to try and give another look here at this lost puzzle and see if clearing my brain, resetting my brain has helped at all. Maybe I'll reset my brain on this the Pandora Star scavenger hunt. Okay, so getting back into regular puzzle mode here, we have a blue emitter, and eventually the goal's over here, right? The progress wheel is here, and the only way to drop this force field is via an activator. There is no jammer in this puzzle, correct? So we need to get this activator out from this little sub area. And presumably that needs to be via this fan. This fan is the only way that I can think to actually move this activator out of this area. But we have to do it in a way. We've already tried once putting the fan or putting the activator right in front of the fan, or somewhere here, right? Somewhere here near the fan, and just having it blow. If you just do that on its own, it's not quite enough to get the activator out of the force field. So I thought that maybe I needed to have a box to set here and then put the activator on the box. And then maybe that gives you, I don't know, less friction. There's more surface area on the box, so the fan moves it or sends it a greater distance. Either way, I think the first step is to set up this activator here so that we can elevate this beam over here. Elevate the blue beam and send it to this activator. Like this. This is how we started last time. And this gets us access to the box, right? Gets us access to this second hexahedron, which now does what for us? What does the box potentially do? The box could potentially lift this beam higher, but I don't know that that helps us at all. I don't know if that helps us. I did find a way to activate this force field from here. There is a little sweet spot that allows us to just do this. And now we could bring this box through, or we could bring something else through. The other part of this puzzle, which I didn't, I noted it, but it didn't feel like it helped me, was this detachable fan. I don't know that that can help me at all. It feels like that is not something that can help me, but maybe we shouldn't rule it out. How do I want to be able to get this activator here. I think I want to get it here on this box and then activate the fan. I could do that. I don't have line of sight. When this connector is here, the connector being here, I don't have line of sight directly to the box or directly to this fan. So attempts to, however, I've done this before where I was able to relay this signal like so. I could also do that any other number of ways. This force field is now open, right? So this doesn't have to be elevated, and I can take this connector and I can do something else with it. So I could put this connector here now. Ultimately, the issue that I'm still having is that as soon as I try to move this activator, this force field is down. And then it's really difficult for me to activate the force field again. Assuming this box is back here. If that box is not back there, is there some other way for me to activate this force field? I only have the one activator, right? What am I not seeing here? Is this going to be the hardest puzzle in the game? I would imagine they're going to have some pretty tough ones in the Golden Gate puzzles. But there's something that I'm failing to notice. We could set this back up. We could reposition. I think I did this before, which was setting things up. Well, I gotta put this fan back. I disconnected everything accidentally. I think we did this. Another issue here. How can I get a box back inside here? If I can get a box back inside and then be the temporary... Is that the trick here that I was just overlooking? Okay, so now that force field is open, which means I can bring this back over here. Is this all I need to do? And now I go over here to this side and I stand on this thing. Was I just completely overlooking once again the fact that I can be a temporary activator? Holy fucking shit. This is I don't know how many times this has screwed me up. Overlooking the idea that I don't need to have a permanent pressure plate activator. I can just do the job myself and do things, you know, get things to happen temporarily the way that I need them to. Okay. Fresh brain, once again, does the trick. I was still a little bit stumped even with the fresh brain for a moment there, but we finally got there. So, okay, we've at least solved all of the ordinary puzzles in this area. All right, guys, I don't know what to do about this Pandora Star. It feels like there's a driller somewhere that I'm supposed to find, but I can't find it. So I don't know what the hell we're gonna do about that. Hopefully, when I edit my footage, I'll get some ideas like I do sometimes. We've also got the journalist, Crier, still out over by the Lost Lab, but I am honestly exhausted at this point. I have been looking all over this island trying to find this damn Pandora Star, Pandora driller, and I don't have the energy. So I think Alcatraz has some dialogue as well. We'll try to catch up and get that stuff taken care of in the next area. For now, we're pressing forward to the end. We're gonna take care of the tower here. Now, I hadn't thought of the possibility that maybe there's a jammer over here somewhere, but usually that they almost never, I don't think they have ever done that, where they have put anything related to a star. Ask the Tetromino Bridge. The Tetromino Bridge so far, from everything that the game has taught us, is just something that's unrelated to anything else that you are doing in the game. We'll have a look around real quick here, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to be stashing the hidden driller over on this side of the Tetromino Bridge. Okay, there is a little tunnel here. Is there anything in this tunnel? Or is it just a fun little tunnel under the stairs, it looks like? Ultimately, though, nothing to find, which is... There are a lot of parts in these levels that are just... It's a lot to explore, but there's nothing there. And when they give you a puzzle where it feels like you need to find the hidden driller, it can be a little frustrating having to cover so much ground. Like, these levels are just way bigger. I think they are way bigger than the amount of ground you would have to cover in Talos 1, but it's been some time. I might not be remembering things properly. Ultimately, we press on here to activate the tower and get our second to last laser beam. We are closer and closer to the finish line. That was a long elevator. Felt like that was longer than usual. Pandora?
A long time ago, the Sphinx asked you about my story. You said that hope is an evil, and we are lucky not to have it.
She had to check her notes there on what we talked about before.
You're wrong. Hope is good, and the world is not without it. Some small part of it still survives, but it is not in the flame or in these towers. It lives in the hills and the forests, in the rivers and the seas. You were given a world full of hope, creature of clay. It is yours to protect.
I would very much settle for a world full of a driller. Can you give me a driller to get to your star? I also just kind of want to find Byron. That's true. I would love to cut to the end of that chase as well.
Loyalty is a fine virtue, but do not be blinded by it. A friend may lead you astray, while an enemy speaks only truth.
I feel like sometimes they just have a whole bunch of sayings that are like the opposites. Friends betraying you, enemies speaking truth. I said something deeply profound and insightful because I said it the opposite of what you'd expect. Ooh.
So, Melville, what do you make of these beams? Do they seem safe to you?
Nothing is really safe. You could kill yourself with a fork, and I'm sure someone has. But anything can be used safely if you choose to.
I see.
The ever insightful dialogue exchanges between our characters here. And that's where we're going to wrap up this installment of Talos Principle 2. Man, I want to find this star. I'm glad at least that we got the solve on that last lost puzzle. So we do have all of the regular puzzles, the regular laser puzzles so far, but we gotta figure out that star mystery. And but we've only got one area left, and then we're going to be doing the Golden Gate puzzles, assuming I do find this star. Hopefully I get an idea when I go to edit my footage. But yeah, literally, I am just so worn out right now. I see Alcatraz has some dialogue there. I just don't have the energy for it anymore. I don't have the energy to deal with journalists or anything else at this point. We're just going to enjoy our nice green laser there and try to get some fresh brain energy on that dang Pandora Star. We shall return for that, fear not. And then we'll press on to the final puzzle area. Man, this game has kind of flown by in some ways, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the last area has in store. Thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.